how to get people to see your funnel, how to find more leads online, how to even be able to market to people who haven't contacted you and you don't know who they are, but you can still reach out to them. That's the focus of this video. This video is the second video in the series. So in case you came here directly and you haven't watched the first one yet, and you don't know what I'm talking about, what funnels, etc., please make sure you go back and watch the first one and then come back here and watch this second training video. In this second video, I'm gonna teach you something very powerful. It's a powerful tool that you all know what it is, but you might not necessarily know how to use it to your advantage in digital marketing. And this tool is Facebook. Yes, Facebook is a really good tool for marketing purposes. That's in fact pretty much the only reason why I'm using it personally. I don't really post pictures of my food and you know, that kind of thing, but to find clients, it's excellent. That's what I'm sharing here with you today as well. Hi, my name is Jochen Siegmann, also known as the Online Agent, and I've been marketing very successfully online for many years, finding new leads, finding new customers, making more sales and getting more commission. And as I mentioned in the first video, for the first time ever, I've put all this knowledge online, obviously, for you to learn and model for me. When I started out, then perhaps that's what you are doing right now too. I put the information about new properties and the features and how many bedrooms and how many square feet and all this. You get very boring. Huh? Onto my personal Facebook profile. Nothing wrong with that. The only thing is, don't expect any customer to contact you because of that. If you want to find leads, you have to do a little bit better than that. So let me show you how. And the first point is not to use a personal Facebook account, but a page. We call it the fan page. What's the difference? Well, firstly, the fan page might not be necessarily your personal name, but the name of a property or product that you're marketing. And secondly, there's no limit how many people can interact with a page. You don't have that 5,000 friends limitation that a personal page has, and it simply looks more professional. And from this fan page, then we will live ads. Say, hey Jochen, ads, but how? Let me show you how. What if you spend $100 on ads, but you could get a return of $200, $300, $400 out of it? Wouldn't you love to do that? And actually, for many of my ads, I had a return on ad spend of $700, $800 for $100 I spent in commission, in sales. So I'm very happy to do that, right? Wouldn't you be too? And as you know, for my first video, I love giving gifts. So I got one gift here for you as well. It's called Facebook Fan Page Magic. It's a ton of good advice about your fan pages, how to set them up. It's really easy. There's not much you can get wrong here. Later I'll quickly show you, but setting up is not the real tricky part. You don't need any technical knowledge for that. The real magic actually lies in the actual ads, not in the page itself. The page is just a vehicle that you need so that the ad doesn't come under your personal name. Right? Let's say you're marketing a property called the Landmark, then you would have a Facebook fan page called the Landmark, and not John Smith or Jane Khan or whatever the name might be. Right? One very critical principle in our ads is specificity. Your ads, your copy has to be to the point, very specific. Your audience has to be narrow, specific. That's the key. I'll show you how in a moment. Just wanted to highlight that to you up front, and I'll demonstrate it to you how you too can do do that, how I've been doing it very successfully. And I'll show you some of my results that you can simply model too. A lot of agents make this mistake when they run Facebook ads. They just copy paste the information they might get from the project leader. Lots of emoticons and all this, copy paste into Facebook, run an ad to the whole of the city, the region, the country, whatever it might be. But one principle in marketing is if you market to everybody, you market to nobody. You have to be specific. So let me share my screen with you right now so I can demonstrate to you what I mean rather than just talk about it. So this is my Facebook account right now. And if you want to create a new page, it is really actually quite simple. All you need to do is go to the plus sign here, create page, and follow the steps. There's plenty of help resources on Facebook itself, and it's just fill in the blanks really. Your page name, your category, a short description, what the page is about, etc. And you're done. So I'm not gonna do that right now because it's so easy and simple. And then once you're done, just click on the create page. Obviously, as I do digital marketing, I have a lot of pages. So just let me show you one example of a ready one. This is what I'm currently working on. It's a property launch called Wimbledon 77. It doesn't really matter about this property. It matters about a principle that you can apply to your campaign. So I created this page, uploaded some pictures of the property, and when I run the ads, I run it as Wimbledon 77 or as Landmark or whatever your property is called, right? But not your personal name. So let me show you the ads accountant, the ads manager, the ad for this property, the results I got from it, and something that you can model too. I'll explain it as we go along. So here's now the ad account. This is the current campaign. Lead generation for Wimbledon is still active as of now. So if you can look at some of the results, this is filtered just recently, so the old campaigns are not showing anymore, obviously. So for this ad, I had 33 leads, which is amazing. 6,500 people got reached, even though I was very, very specific and very narrow. You'll see it in a minute. That created 12,000 impressions on average. I guess everybody saw it twice. I spent $243.91, which means I paid $7.39 per lead. That's actually amazingly good. In e-commerce, that would be considered expensive. If you sell a shoe for $20, you pay $7 for a lead. You would probably expect more. But for property, it's amazingly good. Actually, I had several digital marketing agencies reject me as a client because I'm better than them. Yes, really. They can't generate quality leads for this kind of low cost. So how did I do that? Let me teach you. In order not to hamper my existing campaign, I will duplicate it. And that's precisely what you can do later. Right? Once you have found a campaign that works, don't reinvent the wheel. Just duplicate it, change obviously the pictures, change the benefits, the features of this particular property to the next one, but you can rinse and repeat. Once again, like in the first video, let me ask you a simple question. Are you able to copy and paste? Are you able to do that? You don't need any technical knowledge. You can't be too young, too old, too busy to copy paste. Just model what works, because that's the very fundamental principle of success. Unless you want to create a new Facebook and become a billionaire, but to simply earn a living, make commission, just model what works. And that's what I'm trying to bring across to you here. So there's no too young, too old, not technical savvy, because you don't need to be. So I will now simply duplicate this campaign. Or for your new ad, you don't want to duplicate the existing comments, etc. what people have given, so untick this and just duplicate it. So now I'm going to have an exact copy of this ad. So when we run lead generation campaigns, our objective is obviously lead generation. The other one could be traffic if you just want to get some traffic to your website. But lead generation is what I usually prefer in Facebook, because then they can write in Facebook, leave their contact details without even going out and having the risk of losing them along the way. Here in the next page, which is called the ad set, then you can see here now that I'm using this Facebook page, Women77, that I've shown you just now as the owner, so to speak, of this ad. I put in my budget, whatever you're comfortable with. Probably initially you want to start small until you get more comfortable, but you can always scale up later. Facebook will show you sort of how broad or narrow your audience is. You don't want to have your arrow down here, very, very broad. But you want to be reasonably specific that your arrow is here. So how can you define this audience? Well, I scroll down here. You can set a start and end date of your campaign to whatever suits you. And here is my audience definition. So how did I make specific? Well, firstly, I excluded property agents. I don't want to see them, my ad, because they're not my target audience. So if you're able to identify them in your country, then you can also exclude them. I can show you in a minute how to do that. But first, let me explain what I've done here. Number two, I've only targeted people who live within 4 kilometers of this new property launch, right? So if they live 5 kilometers away, they won't see my ad, because most people, at least in this particular area, if they live in this area, they want to probably move back to that area to a different property, or for their family, for their kids, etc., to live nearby. And somebody in another part of, in my case, Singapore, might not be familiar with that area. So if I showed the ad to them, it would not be very relevant to them. Then the age group, in this case, it's all. You can narrow down if something is more hip. You can have a younger age group or something more exclusive. You can probably target older age group with more money. That's also how you achieve specificity. And the interests. Right, you see here, I'm targeting people who have interest in private property, new homes, condominiums, new home sales, property. So if they don't have this kind of interest, they will also not see my ad. That's how I keep it very, very specific. People who live within 4 kilometers, a certain age group, and have interest in property. These people, and only these people, get to see my ad. So how do you do that? Let me show you. You can create a new audience, or if you already have one from last time, you can amend an existing audience that you can search in here. Let's say property agents. I don't have to every time define who they are. I can upload them once to Facebook. There's a lot of tutorials how to do that easily. This is the list, and let's just exclude them. You can also exclude your existing customers, for example, because you don't need to show them the ads. You can directly reach them because you know who they are, right? So for geographical targeting, you can target people either who live in this location or who visit, but obviously visitors or travelers are not liking to buy properties, so you would target people who live in this location. And how do you define the location? Simply by browsing. Then you can input your country that you want to target, the region or the city, and then use the map view here to drop a pin And you don't want to target 4 kilometers, but 5 or 3 or 10, up to you. Obviously, in a larger place, let's say London, you might target maybe a bigger region, let's say 10 kilometers instead of 4. Then the interests. So you can search here for whatever interest you think is appropriate for you. For me, I prefer, which I would recommend for you too, everything that's basically related to property. Let's say I want to search for property. If you're marketing a luxury property, for example, you can target people specifically who are interested in luxury property. There won't be that many. And it's great news because it means you have less ad spend and you're targeting the right people. That's the key. Target the right people who are interested in your product, your property you want to sell. You can also exclude your friends because they already know. And then you can save this as a new audience. I call it here demo. This was just a demo for you. So now we have specified our audience who we want to market to and have narrowed it down to people who live in this location, excluding property agents, and who have the right interest that match whatever properties you're selling. It might be a luxury property, a new condominium. Now the second thing, and that's a real key, is the actual ad. As I mentioned, a lot of agents will simply copy paste from what they have received from their leaders, which has usually two issues. Number one, everybody's the same, right? You have 100 agents, 100 same ads. Number two, it usually only mentions the features of the property. It's 89 units, it has 923 to 1,400 square foot, 2-bed to 4-bed units available. I mean, it's nice to know, but it doesn't sell. Right? What does sell is benefits. Sell them the benefits and not the features, as well as emotions. Appeal to the emotions. So what have I written in this ad that made it so successful? Firstly, I mentioned that specific area, so they're familiar with it. It's a recognition effect. Secondly, I mentioned this home is spacious, because most homes these days are quite small, actually. Third, I appeal to the family instinct, where the benefit might be the kids have room to play, you can work from home, eateries around, MRT in walking distance, and it's freehold. I did not mention the size of the property. I didn't sprinkle emoticons in there. I didn't list down all the features. If they want to know the features, I will tell them if they ask me. Make them want you to ask you to contact you. Hey, wow, this sounds great. I want to find out more. That's how you write it. And don't forget the call to action. Right? Tell them what you want them to do in order to get the information to find out more. I tell them they can get the full info and they could book a preview appointment because this is a preview. If it's already launched or resale, of course, your call to action wording might be different, but you must put a call to action. You don't tell them what to do, they're not going to do anything. You tell them to do something, they will hopefully do it. Likewise, the headline and the description is more action-based. My call to action, learn more, is harmless. It doesn't sound like a sale or commitment. People are afraid of commitment, so make it harmless for them to give the info to you, and they will, as you have seen from the results. So this is easy to do. Anybody can do it. You can't be too young, too old, or not tech savvy enough to write a simple copy like this. You can use mine if you want to just model it. You don't have to, exactly word for word copy it, but you can model it and just slightly adapt to your own property. And that's simply the whole secret, because it's not a secret. It's a proven technique, and that's also what I'm teaching in my course in greater detail than this free model here. And that's how you can turn your ad into a successful ad that converts, that gives you leads, and allows you to earn more commission going forward. So once you have written the text, you can scroll down here, and there's a lead generation form that allows people to input their name, phone number, and email address. So then you can get their contacts. And even if they don't, you can still retarget them. I'll teach you how to do it in Module 4. What you need to do at this particular step here is to enable your Facebook pixel. That's a tactical step that there's a lot of tutorials out there for free, and I can't add any value to it, so I'm not gonna go into it right here, right now. Where I can add value is how to write a copy, how to narrow down your audience to be successful, but a Facebook pixel is just a thing that you need to enable, and that tracks the visitors basically, so that Facebook keeps the data, who they are, what pages they visited, etc. Once you're done, just click on the publish button, and then Facebook will put your ad into review, review it, and if it's okay, they will approve it and start running. If not, if you violated a policy for whatever reason, because actually Facebook doesn't like people to make money on the ads, so if you have words there like income, profit, then they might disapprove your ads. So try to avoid these directly. Indirectly, you can say that good potential, but if you say make profit, they might disapprove your ad actually. So once you're done, like I said, finish, submit, and your ad will be shown to this audience. How do you actually find your leads? Well, it's quite easy. On the actual page itself, if you go and scroll down in the menu to the publishing tools and then under lead ad forms, you'll see the forms library. This is, by the way, only available from desktop. You cannot do this on your mobile phone for whatever reason. Don't ask me why, but Facebook only has it on the desktop version. And then from here, from this form, you can download your leads then, either the ones that are new since the last download. I did it just now, so that's why it shows 0. Or you can also download the old ones here. I get download all 33 of them for the entire range. Will last about 20 days, 3 weeks, into your computer. And then you can contact them, call them, invite them, meet them, and hopefully they will buy from you, so you make more commission. So download the guide below, comment on what you have learned and what action steps are you going to take that you have learned in this video. In the next one, I'll share another tool with you in Marketing Online 3.0 that's even more powerful than Facebook, where you can get even better quality leads than from Facebook. So make sure you're gonna watch the next training video, number 3. I'll see you there.